Hi guys, hope you're doing well today. It is a beautiful Sunday, and Danny here for those of you who are new to seeing this hot mess on your feed. I just wanted to hop on and report back to you. I've been sick with I don't know what, cold, flu. I'm not sure what I caught, but it's been a little not so fun these last couple of days. And the other day I decided to try something new. Since I'm expecting, I did not want to be taking like the normal NyQuil or DayQuil. I'm really trying to keep it holistic this pregnancy. I usually don't like to take any medication and eat very organically, very healthy for obvious reasons. But I decided to take a page out of the Amish Home Remedies little book and try a tea to kind of combat this flu. For those of you who don't know, I have multiple sclerosis. I was diagnosed in 2012. I've been in remission now for about 5 years. But from time to time, especially when my temperature gets elevated, when I'm sick, I will experience pseudo symptoms. And it's kind of like an ongoing like battle. Being someone with an autoimmune disease, I am immunocompromised. So when I get sick, I tend to get sick for a little bit longer than normal people. Like a common cold that someone can get over within a week, I can stay sick for weeks, months. I can develop secondary symptoms like someone can get over within a week. I can stay sick for weeks, months. I can develop secondary symptoms like pneumonia. So being at about 6 months pregnant right now, I really wanted to kind of not be feeling like this for months. And I also did not want to, like I said, take anything harsh that my baby wouldn't appreciate. Hi guys, I hope you're having a beautiful Sunday if you're hopping on live. If you're catching this on Facebook or Insta or somewhere else, this is the replay, #replay. Feel free to drop your questions, but this is day 4. I took a day off from live yesterday, just kind of stayed in bed for most of the day, but I wanted to report that day 1 on the onset of starting to feel sick is when I started reaching out to friends trying to find an alternative to Tamiflu or the heavier medications that I just don't feel very good on. I don't know if you've ever taken NyQuil and just felt like completely out of it or like your head's floating. I didn't want to feel like that. I have a lot of stuff I still need to get done. I did not want to spend the next few days in bed. I did spend bedtime on and off, but I was surprised at what I was able to accomplish. So, had friends recommend I try this Amish tea. It's really basic. A lot of you might have the ingredients at home. If you do get sick and you don't have NyQuil, take a look to see if you've got them. I use basically lemons, other citrus such as oranges, a little bit of honey. If you have star anise, it's got really great antiviral properties. And if you're in an area that has elderberries are not just a powerful antioxidant, they are really good at combating colds, have their own antiviral properties, and are said to help you kind of break that fever. So day 1 is when I was reaching out and I found this recipe. I found quite a few actually. You can go on TikTok or Facebook or wherever and you can kind of Google like holistic teas, teas that fight flu. I just kept getting brought back. Like I kept hearing from friends, the Amish have really good recipes. And then I kept getting lost in my feed and kept getting back to these Amish recipes. So that was basically the base of my tea recipe as I just described. You also put some raw honey in there. Honey is really good to coat the throat. And then I added a little bit of extra stuff to my tea because I had fruit and I was feeling extra. So day 1, when I was getting sick, I got a really bad headache. Kind of started to think this wasn't a typical headache, that I was coming down with something. Later in the afternoon, I felt my sinuses kind of start to clog up. Got the recipe, got most of the ingredients for this, minus the elderberries. By the way, if you know where I can find some elderberries right now, I don't know if they're still in season in California, but gosh, if I can find some, I am definitely going to stock up and preserve them, freeze them, dehydrate them, and save them for later because a lot of the responses that I'm getting are, girl, you need to add the elderberries and it'll be so much better. But anyways, day 1, got the ingredients. I think I started sipping on this that night. By day 2, I definitely knew I was sick. I was very stuffed up. Had that kind of yucky feeling in the back of my throat. You could definitely feel your lymph nodes. If you don't know you're sick and you don't know, you have lymph nodes right here along the side of your neck. So if you put your hands over there, if you ever felt like a little bulge or a little bump, Don't freak out. That's usually your lymph nodes, and that's just your immune system's natural reaction. Your body's trying to clean out any antigens, any bacteria, any viruses. When your white blood cells cover them, they take them to your lymph nodes where your body can kind of flush them out in your lymph system. They're processed the same way we process waste out of our bodies. So I knew by day 2 I was definitely sick. I wasn't feeling too super bad. I was just kind of feeling run down and just like that normal like onset cold kind of feeling. I spent my day on day 2 kind of going back and forth, like getting the tasks that I needed to get done that day, but then also laying down and getting rest. But day 2 I was sipping on this tea. I think I liked my day 2 tea a little bit better because I just threw in all the ingredients that I had. I did add some cayenne. Cayenne, if you don't know, does kind of help for some reason, probably because of the little properties of the peppers, kind of open up those nasal passages. So even though I felt like my sinuses were stuffed, I still felt like when I was up and about, like I could breathe. I also added turmeric, a little bit of ginger and cinnamon. All of those spices have really, really good nutrients in them. You're probably not getting their daily vitamin, mineral, nutrient contents from your diet. So just also an added tip, if you feel like you're kind of lacking, you don't want to spend a lot of money on the teas that have that turmeric in them or that extra good stuff, you can make your own. Day 2 wasn't really so bad. Day 3, I was definitely feeling more sick. But to my surprise, I was still getting up and doing things. In fact, the video I posted yesterday was of day 3, and I was up in the morning and making muffins. I don't know why, but a lot of the times when we get sick, we just kind of have a tendency to stay in bed, and our bodies want to rest. But I feel like the more we lay down, the more we are resting for extended period of times, the easier it is for our chest to kind of get congested. We're laying down. Also, I felt more miserable. So like I did sleep in a little bit on day 3, but like around 10 o'clock, I was like, I gotta get out of bed. I feel really congested. So made the tea, started sipping on the tea. Very early on, I felt like getting up and doing something. So I got up, put some gloves on so I wouldn't contaminate my family. Nobody else seems to be getting sick over here. And I made some muffins and I prepped some food ahead for later, just in case later in the day I wasn't feeling it. I'm glad I did, because later in the day, I wasn't really feeling it. I did have a fever with this cold. To my surprise, I wasn't fevering as long as I normally do. Being immunosuppressed, like when I get the fevers, I literally will be in bed for an extended period of time, like just on my desk door. Like I can't get out of bed. I'm hot, I'm cold, I'm sweaty. I'm not going to say that this tea was the reason that I broke my fever, but I will say that I broke this fever a lot quicker than I am used to when I get fevers. So day 3 came and went, was kind of, again, up and down, up and down, up and down. Once I broke the fever, I immediately started feeling better. Like I still felt sick. You know, when you're coming off of that cold and you're still kind of feeling sick, but you're like, you feel like you're functioning better. That was day 3. And today's day 4. I honestly wanted to go do more on day 3. My wonderful man, he was like super sweet. You want to get out of the house? You want to, go for a drive? You want to do something? And I usually am always up for it. I love it. I love dates that are even so simple that we're just going for a little drive, spending some quality time together. But by that time, by day 3, I was just like, you know what? I need one more day of rest. I need to just kind of continue to flush this out. Stay hydrated when you are sick. If you don't have tea, definitely waters and good juices. If you got sugary juices, fine, drink the sugary juices, but I tend to stay away from the sugary stuff. Excess glucose in the body can cause a lot of inflammation. Autoimmune conditions are sometimes worsened by inflammation. If you have chronic conditions, if you have arthritis and things of that nature, staying away from the sugar will help. But most definitely, if you are getting sick, check out my other videos where I kind of talk about the recipe. It's so simple to make. A lot of people kind of shy away, I feel like, from certain recipes, even though the food looks really good, because it just looks so complex. And let's face it, we're kind of in that generation where we want to snap our fingers and DoorDash everything. But if you're just adding water, Like you can literally put it in your coffee pot and then just throw your ingredients in your little coffee pot and let it brew. Last night I think also was the worst for me. Nighttime and morning time seem to be more difficult than during the day. And I think, like I said, it's because we're laying down and we got a lot more congestion. So last night I was coughing a lot more. I was kind of like doing that, like hacking up of the mucus that I could feel like it's in my throat and in my lungs. But I feel like that was my body's response of just kind of flushing whatever it is I have that I'm dealing with right now, whatever cold it is, and just getting out of my system. So day 4, I'm still sipping on this tea. I am happy that I found this recipe. I'm happy that I made this recipe. I am sad that I lost my taste. But the warm liquid is definitely helping. So if you're sick, if you feel like you're getting sick, maybe you're not sick, maybe you just want to get some good holistic nutrition in your body, check out the videos that I posted prior about this tea and make it your own. Put your favorite fruits in it. Put your favorite seasonings in it. Don't shy away from things like cayenne. I know that that sounds weird, but honestly, I wasn't tasting like, oh, super hot, spicy. It's like this, like almost like an apple cider that has some spice to it. If you ever have had mulled ciders or spice ciders, that's kind of what this was, with that little added cayenne to it. And even though like right now on day 4, I'm getting better, I'm kind of down that I can't taste. I don't know if that's because of the cold. I don't know if that's because of my MS. You all probably are aware sometimes when you get colds, you kind of lose your sense of smell a little bit. You lose your sense of taste. But I have multiple sclerosis, and one of my first relapses was actually losing my taste. That's why I went to the doctor and got my diagnosis. Multiple sclerosis, if you don't know, is a disease of the brain and central nervous system. So basically what happens is your immune system kind of goes haywire and it attacks parts of your brain. Multiple sclerosis is different for everybody. There's 4 different types right now that generally people are classified in. I have relapsing remittent multiple sclerosis, which is the first onset of the disease. And basically, for me, that part of my brain that was attacked, thank you for the love. Guys, I appreciate it. I hope you're having a happy Sunday. The part of my brain that was attacked was the part that is responsible for taste. So I wasn't feeling sick at the time when I had my first relapse. I just remember going into a restaurant that I have been familiar with, ordering the thing that I usually love to eat, and taking a bite of the sandwich, and it was weird. I could feel the texture of food, but there was no taste behind it at all. The only way I can describe it is everything tasted like water, but I could feel texture in my mouth. So thought that was kind of weird. Thought that even though I wasn't feeling sick, like I might be coming down with something, so I dismissed it for like a day or 2, but by like day 3 or 4, I was like, something's wrong, so I went to the doctor. Luckily, I had a good doctor, and she's like, let's get you an MRI. And if you didn't know, with multiple sclerosis, if you have an MRI and you have an active flare or an active relapse, they will give you something in your IV called contrast, and it will basically light your brain up where it's showing activity. And that is your immune response kind of attacking the myelin sheath on your nerves and your nervous system. So I was having an active flare. I got my diagnosis. Now, the good thing about MS, if there is a good thing, is that when you have relapses, it doesn't mean I lost my taste forever. The way my original neurologist explained it to me was like kind of like steps. So like if you're up here and this is your taste level 100% and you have a relapse that affects your taste, it goes down. But when you recover, which is usually anywhere from about 10 days to a few weeks, depending on if you get treatment or not, your taste will come back up, but it will never be like 100%. So your taste might have been up here, it went down, you couldn't taste anything, you recover, and now your taste is right here. So as you progress in your disease, it's kind of like you're taking little lower steps towards disability. Another way it was expressed to me is that you can have relapses in your brain and not even be aware of it, which is one of the reasons why multiple sclerosis is sometimes hard to diagnose. People will experience symptoms like extreme fatigue, brain fog, just like being slow in nature, like just things that we would normally associate with regular, like being busy, being stretched thin, burning the candle at both ends, and just being like kind of like frayed a little bit. But when you have a distinctive relapse, a distinctive symptom, it usually does trigger you to kind of seek medical attention. And even still, when you're dealing with doctors, they can misdiagnose you. So another way I like to describe it is, if you think of, I got a water bottle here. So if you think of your brain or your body being like a well, and parts of your brain are above the water, but there's also parts of your brain that are your nervous system that's below the water. If you have this water level right here, and whatever part of your brain's being attacked is below this surface level, if that water hasn't gone down to this level, you might not really feel or experience the symptom. You might not be aware of it. But once, through progression of the disease, through different factors, like, like I said, temperature can make a difference for inflammation. Once you kind of cross that threshold and your water level is below this nerve, you might be feeling the symptom a little bit stronger. So again, I can't taste right now, and it really sucks, because the last time I couldn't taste, it was at least for about a week. I really love food. If you ever follow me, if you ever see some of my posts on Facebook and Instagram, which are at Mama Takashu, Mama_Takashu, MAMA_TAKASHU. I like food a lot. I travel a lot. I like posting foodie stuff and recommendations, because I like to go to these little spots that you might not consider. But I can't taste right now, and it really sucks. And I started losing my taste, like I said, as of yesterday. So I'm enjoying this hot water, even though this tea was amazing tasting the first couple of days I was drinking it, with things like honey and ginger in it, lemons and oranges, and all the fruit that I was putting in it. It was a really good fruity, like, didn't even taste like an herbal tea. Oh, one ingredient I forgot to tell you that I've been putting in this for the last couple of days. Dandelion root tea. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with it. Dandelion roots, it's the root of the dandelion weed that you see like growing all over the place sometimes. At least we have that weed everywhere in California. It's considered a weed. But they actually make a tea out of the root. The tea has really amazing, powerful, holistic properties. Some people even say that the dandelion root itself is one of the ingredients that helps kind of combat cancer and cancerous cells. It's like it opposes the growth of cancerous cells. And they have been doing clinical studies for a while now on certain herbal holistic remedies for things like cancer growth and stuff like that. So again, really good stuff I have in this tea. I'm going to keep drinking it. Today's day 4, and I actually feel like getting up and getting out of the house today. So in just a brief moment after I finish this tea, I'm going to go wash up. I don't know where I'm going to go. I don't know what I'm going to do. I kind of feel like that normal girl mode where, like, I don't care where we go. I just want to go somewhere and look at stuff. Maybe go shopping. Maybe buy something. Maybe not buy shopping. I really would like to have a coffee or a drink, even if I can't taste it. But like I said, every time I put something in my mouth, I'm like hopeful. I'm pregnant right now. I'm having cravings. I got macaroons for one of my cravings, and I took a bite of one yesterday, and I was like so disappointed, because it felt like a macaroon in my mouth, but it sure didn't taste like anything. So hopefully, hopefully by the end of today, things start getting a little bit better and I start to taste a little bit more. If you have any questions about this remedy or any of the other herbal holistic remedies that I've been looking into, like I said, I'm about 6 months pregnant, so I'm really not trying to put a lot of medicines, a lot of chemicals and bad stuff in my body. I think the only thing that I have put in my body that hasn't been like homemade or like from natural ingredients are cough drops. And even the cough drops, like I'm checking the active ingredients, and I've got like eucalyptus oil, glucose syrup, honey, soy, sucralose, and water in these. So it's like, if I can see the ingredients and it's not a bunch of long list of just chemicals and weird things I can't pronounce, then I'm kind of going for it. But I gotta tell you, the Amish definitely know what they're talking about, some of these remedies. Next, I think I'm going to be exploring the one I've been reading about for pain relief, because I've been off even Tylenol. I'm not taking any Tylenol or any type of pain relievers. We all get aches and pains, but I hear cloves are really good natural aspirin, natural like remedies for like pain relief and stuff like that. So I'll be looking into that more. If you are on TikTok, you can definitely check out my showcase. I did post some links to a couple of the books where friends recommended I go to and look for these recipes, and so far I'm kind of really excited, because I really, especially having an autoimmune disease, I don't like the medicines that they put me on. I actually have weaned myself off of all of the medicines my neurologists and my care teams have put me on over the years, because the more medicines that I was taking in my journey, the worse I was feeling. The more weight I was gaining, the more sluggish I was, the more side effects I felt like I was having from the medication as opposed to the disease. And about 5 years ago, I started my health and wellness journey. I decided to change my diet drastically, definitely lower a lot of the sugars, kind of do more whole foods rather than processed foods. That kind of evolved to more lower carb, keto, Mediterranean diets. That even further evolved to carnivore. I've tried all different kinds of diets, and I've got to tell you, diet and exercise is really what your body is looking for you to find, that just sweet medium, wherever it is for you. Because all of us are different, guys. So we can't just say that these cookie cutter diets, fad diets, or diet books are going to work for everybody. But I can tell you right now, if you're struggling in your health, if you're struggling with your weight, if you're struggling with a chronic condition or a disease, there is a remedy for that. And you have to find out what works for you. It might take you some trial and error, but take it from me, you can find it. It took me about a year before I kind of found my happy medium with low carb and then just getting more physical activity. Once I started doing more strength training as opposed to just cardio, I felt a real drastic shift, and it's just been kind of a ride from there. So I'm happy where I'm at right now. I'm happy that I'm continuing to learn new things every day. And when I find things of value, I'm happy to share these with you guys, because I'm hoping that someone out there might take this and it might help them out. Even if it's just kind of a motivational boost that you're not alone. And all hope is not lost. I know some of us are dealing with chronic pain. I have friends that are stroke survivors, people that have had massive injuries, even amputations that I've talked to along my journey, and it's really inspiring to see some of you dealing with such tremendous weights and obstacles and just things that life has put in your way, but you still have that determination and you still have that drive to kind of push forward and figure it out. And that is honestly your best bet. It's so much easier for us to give up, and it's so much easier for us to just, like I said, lay in bed and just kind of like, in a sense, die, because we just like, I can't do it. Stop telling yourself that. Always feed positivity in yourselves, especially on those days where you really feel that you can't. I have not been saying anything to myself like I'm sick, or anything like that. I keep telling myself, oh, I'm getting better every single day. And honestly, whether it's the tea or the talk or whatever it is, I feel like every single day I'm getting better and I'm getting stronger. And for all my friends out there that are struggling with their own health issues right now, I pray that you continue to feed positivity in your life and continue to not give up on finding your own cures, your own remedies, and having focus to that cause, because you are important. Your health is important. You have somebody out there that's counting on you. I know you do. You might tell yourself you don't. You do. There's someone in this world whose life is a better place because of you, and you matter. So have a wonderful, happy Sunday, guys. Again, if you want to check out the Tamiflu Amish tea that I'm drinking, you can check that out on my other videos. I will try to post the actual written recipe in my Facebook. You can catch that. I'll probably post that in my group called Keeping It Keto with Friends. And no, you don't have to be doing keto to take advantage of the recipes or the free meal plans that we have in there. But definitely, if you're interested in an alternative to NyQuil, Tamiflu, loading yourself up with the cold medicines because you feel like you're having a cold, I felt like this gave me focus. I can actually function. So if you have work and you want to drink something that's going to make you feel better, but help you still, rise to the occasion at work and function, I definitely recommend sipping on this tea. It's also been really helpful for my throat. I have not been coughing as much as I normally cough when I have congestion and a chest and sinus issue, cold like this. Yeah, it's been a winner for me in my book. I will also post the link to my showcase where I have the Amish Home Remedies book that I used, and also another one, some other cool little things that they have. I mean, I live in the mountains, And I was looking at like the survival. It's like Amish people live without electricity. It's like completely different from the modern society that we use. And okay, some of them don't. The Mennonites, they're kind of more modern, but like old school Amish, they like do things completely different. And I'm like really intrigued by like their refrigerators without electricity, and like how some of these like things that they use in their house function and work. So I have a couple books in there to check out if you're interested. Okay, have a good, beautiful Sunday. Oh, we're going to close this really quick with a Bible verse. It is Sunday. I'm going to spare my congregation from going in and making anybody sick, but I felt like I wanted to read a verse. And I just opened my Bible, and we're at Mark 10:11. We're going to scroll down here, and I'm going to read to where it says the little children in Jesus. This is going to be Mark 10:14. When Jesus saw this, he was indignant. He said to them, "Let the little children come to me, and do not hinder them, for the kingdom of God belongs to such as these. Truly I tell you, anyone who will not receive the kingdom of God like a little child will never enter it." And then he took the children in his arms, placed his hands on them, and blessed them. That's a nice little Bible verse for the day. All right, guys, have a beautiful Sunday. Hope you're all well. See you next time. Bye.